Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to our weekly chat together. I'm Dr. Rose Khavari, and it's always a privilege to spend this time with you. A few weeks ago, a gentleman in his late 60s, a wonderful retired teacher we'll call Robert, came into my office. He's the kind of person whose kindness you can feel instantly. He sat down, but he didn't look at me right away. He just looked down at his own hands, turning his wedding ring around his finger. After a long moment of silence, he looked up and his eyes held a story of frustration that I've seen many times before. He said, "Dr. Rose, my wife and I have been married for over 40 years. She's my best friend. We've built a whole life together. But lately, things in the bedroom just aren't working. It's been going on for a while now. I feel like I'm letting her down, like a part of our connection is fading away. I guess this is just what happens when you get old, right? It's just part of the deal." I listened, and I could feel the weight of his words. Not just the frustration, but the sadness, the confusion, and that quiet, heavy blanket of shame that so often accompanies this issue. My answer to him is the very reason I felt compelled to talk with all of you today. I leaned forward and said, "Robert, I hear you, and I understand completely why you feel that way. But what if we looked at this not as an inevitable ending, but as a signal? A very important, very early clue that your body is sending you a clue that could help us protect your health for decades to come." And so today we're going to pull back the curtain on a topic that I know is on the minds of so many men, but is often spoken about only in whispers, if at all: erectile dysfunction, or ED. Our goal today is not to cause worry, but to replace worry with knowledge. We are going to discuss why ED is often not just a natural part of aging, but rather a powerful and often early indicator of your overall health. I want to help you understand your body with more clarity and kindness. I want to help you see this not as a source of shame, but as an opportunity to take control of your health for a more vibrant, energetic, and connected life ahead. So please make yourself comfortable, perhaps grab a cup of tea, and let's talk friend to friend. The very first thing we need to do, you and I, is to gently but firmly set aside the biggest and most common misconception of all: the idea that erectile dysfunction is an inevitable, non-negotiable consequence of getting a few more gray hairs or another candle on the birthday cake. It's a story we've been told for generations, whispered in locker rooms, hinted at in jokes. We've heard it so often that we've come to believe it's an unchangeable fact of life. But I am here today to tell you with all the conviction of my medical experience that this story is simply not true. Now let's be clear. Does the body change as we live more years? Absolutely, and we should honor those changes. They are a sign of a life well lived, of wisdom gained. It might take a little longer to warm up for that morning walk. Our knees and hips might be a bit more vocal about the weather forecast. And yes, in the realm of physical intimacy, things can certainly change. Perhaps you notice that you need more direct stimulation than you did in your 20s, or that erections aren't quite as rigid as they once were, or it takes a little longer to become aroused. These are gradual shifts, variations on a theme. They are perfectly normal. But a persistent, consistent difficulty in achieving or maintaining an erection firm enough for the connection you and your partner desire, that is different. That is not a normal variation. It's not a guarantee of aging. It's a symptom. It's a specific signal, and our job as wise stewards of our own bodies is to learn how to listen to it. I want you to think of it this way, using an analogy I often share with my patients. If you're driving your trusty car, one you've had for years, and suddenly the oil light starts flashing on the dashboard, you don't just sigh and say, "Well, it's a 20-year-old car. I guess this is what happens," and keep driving toward a complete engine breakdown, do you? Of course not. You recognize it as a clear warning sign. You understand it's a direct message from the engine telling you it needs attention. You take it to a trusted mechanic to see what's really going on under the hood, to prevent a much bigger, more expensive, and potentially more dangerous problem down the road. Erectile dysfunction is precisely that flashing light on your body's dashboard. It is one of the most visible, most personal, and often one of the very earliest signals you can possibly get that something else needs your attention. For far too long, our culture has wrapped this topic in silence and shame. We've been conditioned by society, by a culture that often wrongly equates masculinity with unflappable performance, by a simple lack of open, honest conversation, to see this as a personal failure, a defect in our manhood, or something to be deeply embarrassed about. It has become a silent burden for millions upon millions of good men. I want to lift that burden from your shoulders right now. It is none of those things. It is a medical condition, pure and simple. And more specifically, it is a medical condition that is deeply, profoundly, and inextricably connected to your vascular health. That is the health of your entire system of blood vessels, from your heart to your brain and everywhere in between. And this, my friends, is where our conversation gets truly interesting and incredibly hopeful. Because the very same system of pipes and pathways that controls blood flow to your heart, and the same system that nourishes your brain with oxygen, is the exact same system that controls blood flow to every other part of your body. They are all connected. Understanding this single powerful connection is the absolute first step toward not just a better, more fulfilling, intimate life, but a longer, healthier, and more vibrant life overall. There's a powerful metaphor we often use in medicine, and I find it so fitting for our talk today. It's the idea of the canary in the coal mine. For those who may not know the story, years ago, before we had sophisticated sensors, coal miners would bring a small canary in a cage down into the dark mines with them. These little birds have a faster metabolism and are far more sensitive to toxic gases like carbon monoxide than humans are. If the canary suddenly became ill or simply fell silent, it was an urgent, life-saving alarm for the miners. It meant the air was becoming dangerous, and it gave them the crucial early warning they needed to get out safely before they themselves were harmed. In many ways, for men's health in the 21st century, erectile dysfunction is that canary. It is the body's own biological early warning system. It is sending a message we need to hear. Let me explain this in the simplest way I can without complicated medical jargon. At its core, an erection is a hydraulic event. It's all about blood flow. It requires healthy, flexible, relaxed blood vessels that can open wide and allow blood to rush in and, just as importantly, stay there. Now I want you to picture the network of blood vessels in your body like a vast system of roads and highways. The large arteries that feed your heart muscle, your coronary arteries, are like major multi-lane interstates. The arteries in your brain that carry oxygen are like busy city avenues. But the arteries involved in this function, they are like small, quiet country lanes. They are much, much smaller in diameter and more delicate than the arteries of the heart or brain. So let's imagine a condition like atherosclerosis begins to develop. This is just a medical term for the gradual hardening and narrowing of the arteries due to the buildup of a sticky substance called plaque. If this plaque is like a slow-motion traffic jam starting to build up across your entire road system, where are you going to notice the effects first? It won't be on the 8-lane superhighway. That can handle a lot of congestion before things back up. You'll see it first on that tiny country lane where even a little bit of congestion can bring traffic to a complete standstill. Long before you might ever feel a single twinge of chest pain, long before you might notice shortness of breath or any other classic sign of heart trouble, these tiny sensitive vessels can struggle to deliver the powerful rush of blood needed to create and sustain a firm erection. And please understand this. This isn't just a clever theory or a good story. It is a profound medical fact that is now backed by mountains of extensive high-quality research from leading institutions around the world. Major studies involving hundreds of thousands of men have consistently shown that the onset of erectile dysfunction can predate a major cardiovascular event like a heart attack or a stroke by as much as 2 to 5 years. Let that sink in for a moment. That is not a dreadful sentence. That is a gift. It is a precious, invaluable window of time. It's an opportunity. It's your body's canary telling you that it's time to pay attention. It's your car's dashboard light telling you that it's time to go see a trusted mechanic and look under the hood. This powerful connection holds true for 3 major conditions that affect our vascular health. 1, high blood pressure. I want you to imagine a brand new garden hose. It's flexible and strong. If you run water through it at a normal pressure, it works perfectly for years. Now imagine turning the spigot on full blast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Over time, the intense, relentless pressure will cause the inside of that hose to become worn stiff and brittle. That is exactly what chronic high blood pressure does to the delicate inner lining of your arteries. It causes constant wear and tear, making them less flexible and less able to open up fully when needed. 2. Diabetes. When your blood sugar is consistently high, it's like trying to run thick, sticky syrup through your body's intricate plumbing instead of clean, clear water. This sugary environment does two things at once. First, it directly damages the walls of the blood vessels, making them prone to plaque buildup. Second, it also harms the fine, delicate nerve endings that are responsible for sending the critical go signal from the brain to initiate the entire process. 3. High cholesterol. Think of the plaque that builds up from high, bad cholesterol, what we call LDL, as being like rust and mineral scale building up inside an old water pipe. Year after year, the opening gets a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. Eventually, not enough water, or in this case blood, can get through with enough force to do its job properly. So when my patient Robert came to see me, our conversation quickly and necessarily pivoted. We didn't just talk about a specific pill as a quick fix. We talked about his life. We talked about checking his blood pressure not just once in the office, but teaching him how to monitor it at home. We scheduled a comprehensive blood test to look at his cholesterol numbers and his hemoglobin A1C, which gives us a picture of his average blood sugar over the past 3 months. We started talking about the health of his heart. Because by addressing the canary, we were taking the most vital life-saving steps to protect the minor, to protect him his heart and his brain for all the years to come. But of course, as we all know, we are not just a collection of pipes and vessels, are we? We are whole human beings with complex emotions, daily stresses, rich histories, and deep, meaningful relationships. And these elements are not separate from our physical health. They are profoundly intertwined, especially when it comes to a topic as personal as this one. In many ways, your brain plays the most important role in your physical and emotional intimacy. Let's first talk about stress. Think about a time you were truly acutely stressed or anxious. Maybe you were running late for a critical appointment. You had a near miss in traffic, or you received some worrying news. Your heart was probably pounding. Your muscles were tense. Your breathing was shallow. That's your body's fight or flight response. A magnificent survival tool driven by hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. This response is designed to shut down all non-essential systems like digestion, relaxation, and yes, sexual response to prepare you to either fight a predator or run for your life. The state of mind and body required for intimacy is the exact opposite. It requires a sense of safety, relaxation, presence, and calm. You simply cannot be in fight or flight and rest and connect at the same time. The problem in our modern world is that many of us live with chronic low-grade stress that keeps our body in a constant state of low-level alert, making it very difficult for the delicate signals of arousal to get through. This often leads directly to the next challenge: performance anxiety. This creates such a vicious cycle, and I see it break the hearts of good men all the time. A man might have difficulty with an erection one time. It could be for any number of simple everyday reasons. He was exhausted. After a long week, he had a couple of glasses of wine. With dinner, he was distracted by worries about finances or his children. It's perfectly normal and happens to every man at some point. But then the next time he's in an intimate situation, a little nagging voice in the back of his head starts to whisper, "What if it happens again? What if I can't? I'm going to disappoint her. She's going to think I don't find her attractive anymore." That worry itself is a form of stress. It triggers the fight or flight response. The anxiety floods his system with the very chemicals that prevent an erection. And just like that, the fear of failure creates the failure. It becomes a painful, self-fulfilling prophecy. And this is where your relationship becomes a central character in the story. It can either become a source of that pressure or a source of incredible healing and connection. When this issue is met with silence, it can create a huge, painful chasm between partners. He may feel ashamed and inadequate, causing him to withdraw emotionally and physically. She may feel confused, hurt, or even personally rejected, wondering if she is the problem, if she is no longer desirable. This silence born of fear and shame is corrosive to intimacy. But when a couple can find the courage to have an open, vulnerable, honest conversation, it can be transformative. It's about him being able to say, "Honey, this is happening and it's frustrating and scary for me. It has nothing to do with you or how much I love you." And it's about her being able to respond, "Thank you for telling me. We're a team. We'll figure this out together." It's about reframing it from my problem or your problem into our situation that you can face together as a team. Finally, and perhaps most powerfully in our day-to-day control, is our lifestyle. Our daily choices stacked up over time are either feeding our health or feeding disease. The food you eat. A diet consistently high in processed foods, fried foods, unhealthy fats, and sugar affects your body's delicate systems. Conversely, a diet rich in whole foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, like those you find in nuts, avocados, and olive oil, is like a maintenance crew actively fighting inflammation and nourishing that delicate lining of your arteries. The way you move your body. A sedentary life spent mostly in a chair allows your entire cardiovascular system to become weak and sluggish. Movement is medicine. It strengthens the heart muscle, improves circulation to every part of the body, helps manage weight, lowers blood pressure, and is one of the most powerful stress relievers we have at our disposal. The quality of your sleep. This is not a luxury. It is a non-negotiable biological necessity. Deep restorative sleep is when your body does its most important repair work. It balances crucial hormones, including testosterone, which is vital for libido, and it gives your body time to repair that sensitive inner lining of your blood vessels. Consistently poor sleep is like never allowing the road crew to come out at night and fix the day's potholes. Smoking and excess alcohol. Let me be very direct and clear here because it's that important. Smoking is directly damaging to your blood vessels. Each cigarette causes them to constrict and harms their lining. It's like taking sandpaper to that delicate, silky inner surface. And while a single glass of wine might help some people relax, excess alcohol is a depressant that can impair nerve function and make achieving an erection very difficult. So you see, the picture is vast. It's a beautiful interconnected web. It's about what happens in the bedroom. Yes, but that experience is woven together with what's on your dinner plate. How you move your body, how you sleep at night, and how you talk to the person you love. All right, we have covered a lot of ground. We've explored the why, but I believe knowledge is only powerful when it leads to action. So now let's shift to the most important part of our conversation. What can you do about it? This is the hopeful part. This is the empowering part. Because you have so much more control and influence over your health than you may have ever been led to believe. Let's walk through some practical, gentle next steps. Step 1, the bravest step, talk to your doctor. I know. For so many men, this feels like the highest hurdle, but I want to reframe it for you completely. You are not going to the doctor to report a failure or to have an embarrassing conversation. You are going to your doctor to act as the proactive, intelligent CEO of your own health and well-being. You are taking charge. You can frame the conversation around your overall health. You can start by saying, "Doc, I've noticed some changes in my physical responses lately, and I've heard that can sometimes be connected to overall vascular health. I'd really like to make sure we're looking at the big picture and that my heart is in good shape." Any good doctor will understand exactly what you mean. Be ready to ask questions. Could any of my current medications be contributing to this? What tests do you recommend we run to check my heart health, my cholesterol, and my blood sugar? What are all of my options from lifestyle changes to medical treatments? Remember, your doctor has this conversation every single day. There is no judgment. There is only a desire to help you be healthy. Step 2. Move your body with kindness and consistency. You do not need to suddenly start training for a marathon or join a high-intensity gym. The goal here is gentle, consistent movement, not punishing intensity. Think of it as movement snacks throughout your day. Can you take a brisk 15-minute walk after lunch and another after dinner? That's 30 minutes of excellent medicine right there. Swimming is fantastic because it's a full body workout that's wonderfully easy on the joints. Gardening, dancing with your partner in the kitchen, even simple chair exercises while watching the evening news. It all counts. Movement tells your body to produce more nitric oxide, a wonderful natural substance that helps your blood vessels relax and open. It's nature's own medicine for vascular health. I also highly recommend looking into pelvic floor exercises, sometimes called Kegels. These exercises strengthen the muscles at the base of the pelvis, which can help support erectile function. You can learn more about these exercises from trusted medical sources or a physical therapist. Step 3. Eat for your arteries, one meal and one swap at a time. Please do not try to overhaul your entire diet overnight. That's a recipe for feeling overwhelmed and giving up. Instead, I want you to think in terms of simple, easy swaps. This week, could you swap a sugary cereal or white toast for a bowl of plain oatmeal with a handful of berries? Could you swap a soda or sugary juice at lunch for a tall glass of water with a slice of lemon? Could you swap a bag of potato chips for a handful of heart-healthy almonds or walnuts in the afternoon? At dinner, could you add one more serving of a green vegetable like spinach, broccoli, or green beans to your plate? Think of adding color, the deep reds of tomatoes and bell peppers, the greens of leafy salads, the blues and purples of berries, the orange of sweet potatoes. These colors represent powerful antioxidants and nutrients that fight inflammation. Every small healthy choice is a deposit in your health bank account. Step 4. Prioritize restorative sleep and find your calm. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary for sleep. Make it as cool, dark, and quiet as possible. Aim for 7 to 8 hours a night. This is not a luxury. It is a biological necessity for your body to repair itself. And find a way to actively manage your stress every single day, even for just a few minutes. This could be 10 minutes of quiet solitude with a cup of herbal tea. It could be listening to your favorite calming music. It could be spending time in nature. Let's try a simple breathing exercise right now together. Wherever you are, just sit comfortably. Breathe in slowly and deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Hold it gently at the top for a count of 4. And now breathe out slowly and completely through your mouth for a count of 6. Let's do that one more time. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 6. Doing this for just 2 or 3 minutes can calm your entire nervous system. Step 5. Become a detective of your medicine cabinet. This is a very important and often overlooked step. Many incredibly common medications that people take every day for high blood pressure, for depression and anxiety, for allergies, for pain, for prostate issues can have erectile dysfunction as a known side effect. Now please hear me very clearly on this. You should never, ever stop taking a prescribed medication on your own. That can be very dangerous. But it is absolutely essential to have an open conversation with your doctor or pharmacist. Simply ask the question, could any of the medications I'm currently taking be contributing to this issue? Often there are alternative medications in the same class that work just as well for the original problem, but don't have the same side effect profile. A simple switch made safely under your doctor's guidance can sometimes make all the difference in the world. These steps aren't a magic wand, but they are a real solution. They are powerful because they address the root cause of the problem, the health of your entire body, not just the symptom. So as we bring our conversation to a close for today, what is the main message, the single most important idea I want you to take away from our time together? It's this. First, erectile dysfunction is rarely just about getting older. It is most often a crucial and early signal about the health of your entire cardiovascular system, especially your heart. Second, please learn to see it as a signal, not as a failure. It is not a reflection of your masculinity or your worth. It is a gentle but firm nudge from your body asking you to pay attention, to get things checked, and to take positive steps. It is a gift of time. It is an opportunity. And third, and most importantly, you have the power to make a profound change. You are not a passive victim of aging. Through small, consistent daily choices in your lifestyle and through brave, open conversations with your doctor and the people you love, you can dramatically improve not only your intimate life, but your overall health, your energy, and your vitality for all the wonderful years ahead. Men like Robert, who I mentioned at the beginning, start this journey every day, and by taking these steps, they not only improve their intimacy, but often end up lowering their blood pressure, improving their cholesterol, and feeling more energetic than they have in years. Your health is a journey, not a destination, and every single day is a new opportunity to take one more step in the right direction. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me today. I truly hope this conversation has been helpful, has shed some light in a dark corner, and has given you a renewed sense of clarity and hope. Your health and your happiness matter deeply. If you found this video valuable, I would be so grateful if you would subscribe to our channel for more conversations like this, and perhaps share it with a friend, a brother, or a partner who might need to hear this message. Until next time, be well, stay curious, and please take wonderful care of yourselves. I'm Dr. Rose.